Yo, what's good? What's good, party people? Um, don't know what to say after you lose to the Charlotte Hornets, Charlotte Bobcats, Charlotte whatevers. I'm not for sure. What's good, everybody? What's good, party people? I see y'all. Robert Paul says it's growing pains. Tomas Abreu. Spell salute wrong, but I feel you. Salute, fam. Danny Landis is in the building. Hey, the disappointment level is high. Okay? So the disappointment level is high. I ain't gonna front. The disappointment level is sky high with me right now. Hey, salute Robert Paul. Salutes. MIG Mick is in the building. What's good? What's good? What's good? So I want to start off not with the game. Not with the game. Not with the game, man. I don't want to start off with that. I just don't. I don't want to start off with that game from last night. With that mess. Right? I don't. I don't want to start off with that mess from last night. Because we have a lot of stuff going on, man. This Knicks team has a lot of stuff going on. Kane Jerry, what's good? I love that logo, by the way. Is that an original? The Kane Jerry, that's a lot of detail right there, man. That's dope. Dripmore, what's good? Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Make sure y'all do that. Make sure y'all. Hey, man, we need to get our subscriptions up. We need to get our likes up too. Not just with y'all. I'm saying we need to get more people to viewing this so that we can grow and get different takes. What I'm finding is here and some of the other Knicks content creators, man, things are like the same old stuff everywhere you go. RJ can't shoot. So it's the same old stuff, man. We need to grow so we can get some more takes. Remember when I started talking to y'all about 2 months ago about growing a channel and so that we can have different perspectives and the conversation being more robust and all that stuff. I still mean that, man. I still want to grow so that our conversations will be better. What's good, Kane Jerry? MIG Meg. I'm still sleeping, Freezy. Hey, and in a weird sense, yeah, me too. It's like a weird nightmare going on with me and my Knicks. Brooklyn Nets up next tomorrow at the Garden. Be there or be square. Stafford Don, what's good? What's good with you? Yeah, hey man. So much love to everybody, and so I be wanting to want y'all to understand how much I love and appreciate the fact that we get to rock every day, right? We get to rock and do this every day, right? And it's fun. right? Because we're not really just arguing and just having conversations. We're kicking it. It's like the Knicks fellowship session for us. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we have people come through, and sometimes we get a little bit chippy. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. It's like what brothers and sisters do. You put brothers and sisters in a room for too long, you know what's going to happen. Kane Jerry says RJ needs to shoot more mid range and drive to the paint more. Robert Paul says, you planted the seed. Now watch it grow, family. Yeah, for sure. Because what we want to do is this is like, it's not like my brother Legion of the Knicks podcast channel, where it's like there's a lot of coach speak and a lot of like breakdown of stuff like that. We're more like just the fans in general. So you rarely hear me break down, offense and defensive tendencies and all that stuff. That's more Legion of the Knicks podcast stuff. That's his lane, and I'll let him have it. Like, I ain't gonna copycat none of his format and none of the stuff he do, because he's good at that, right? We have our own lane and on Lawrence Tears, where it's more fan centric, like overview stuff. We just come here to kick it. Y'all come here to vent, and I want y'all to come here to vent. You know what I'm saying? When y'all want to let off some steam and all that stuff, this is the place where I want y'all to come, because I'm going to give y'all the opportunity to talk as long as you want, as long as it's not like boring us half to death. You know what I'm saying? Kane Jerry says, we got to end this 3-game losing streak. Hopefully we beat the Nets. Yep. Stephen Fox is in the building. What's good, Foxy? What's happening? T. Williams is in the building. What's good? I am Jarrell, says salute to Foxy. And me too. What's good? Look at all that love. Look at all that love we generating for Foxy. He should appreciate that. He better. He better. And I think he does. And I can speak for him. Because we have to appreciate people, because we know kind of how this thing goes, where it's like you have to appreciate the people that support you and appreciate you. So we love and appreciate people back. So Kane Jerry says we got to win home games. Yep. Frequency was good. Where you been? Frequency is probably in the studio making more hits for people like Tony Braxton and others. Yeah. Frequency is probably still in the studio making hits for Beyonce. Shout out to him, man. Frequency is built for this. The Prince says Knox a sizing. That's funny. That's hilarious. Hey, Prince, I saw you on Sim's joint, man. That was dope. I saw the replay, man. I messed around and dozed off, and it was a wrap. Yo, and I ain't gonna lie to you. When I doze off, I'm gone. I ain't gonna. Hey, when I doze off, man, it's a wrap. So I didn't want to get into tonight's game right away, right? I want to Danny Landis is looking to start World War III. Danny Landis says, Freezy, I'm not too high on Barrett. What do you think? Um, so let me ask, because it's like a loaded question. What do you think about me? You know, what's my opinion on you not being high on Barrett, or um, am I not too high on Barrett? Or are you asking, am I changing? Am I cooling on Barrett? Jamie Peralta was good. Says the Knicks need shooters. Time to trade RJ for Bill. I don't know. I'm not sure. Foxy says something about my Italian sesame bread is serious. Okay. Okay. My Italian sesame bread is serious. Okay. All right. Hey, we'll take your word on it, boys. We'll take your word for it. Yeah, I mean, right now we have no other choice. But someday, right now we don't. Right now we have no other choice. We have no other choice but to take Foxy's word about his Italian sesame bread. But one of these days, Foxy's gonna be like, "What are all these dudes doing in my kitchen?" Let's maximize Knox's potential, says T. Williams. Yeah. Hey, good job, Foxy. Please hit those like, subscribe, reminder notification. Thanks for all your support. And please share the link on your favorite social media platforms. Good job. Good job. And do what he says. Robert Parr says, I have a mean New York style cheesecake. Wow. A New York style cheesecake? Hey, Robert Parr, you might be another one. Like, what are all these dudes doing in my kitchen? Where did all these dudes come from? Help. Yo, hey, Tomas Abreu says the chat getting me hungry, LOL. Yo, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. Man. Yeah. I feel you. So the first thing I want to get into this morning, man, is not what we think should be the obvious thing to do is break down that mess we saw last night in Charlotte, North Carolina. Break down that mess that we all saw. And there'll be time for that. I'm sure y'all want to vent about that. I don't. Right? I just don't want to deal with that mess that we saw in Charlotte. Right? I don't want to get into that mess that we saw last night, because I think it was an expose on how I think our future is going to be, in my opinion. It was a peel back of what the Knicks' future looks like. Right? And I don't want to get into it, because I don't want to see, I don't want to project 3 years forward to see 3 years of that mess that we saw in Charlotte, North Carolina. I just don't want to get into it. I want to change. Danny Landis, in my opinion, is correct. Yes, make that, or not make that trade, but make some trades. And I know people are already going to be like, no, Uncle Freezy, it's just, Tom Thibodeau's only been the coach for 11 games. And no. I think we're at a fever pitch already with that mess that we saw in Charlotte. Chris, what's good? What's good? I think what happened in Charlotte last night exposed a lot of stuff. Actually, what happened at home versus Denver exposed a lot of stuff. What OKC did with to us exposed some stuff. But Charlotte, bro, come on, come on. Come on, man. Iverson blogs. Not even a Knicks fan, but still support the channel. Hey, Iverson blogs, we appreciate you. Hey, do you have a channel? You got a channel? Because if you got a channel, man, I want to spam your stuff. This is kind of like a everyday family reunion is basically what this is. So if you got some joints that you want to put people onto, that's not porn and life insurance, basically, or some type of weird solicitation, then we want to make sure that we support everybody that supports us back, because you never know what it leads to. You never know what's down the road. Would I start Rivers, Knox, or go back to Bullock? Uh, Knox. RC Creative. Salute, salute, salute. That Syracuse zone is killing us. A basic high school 2-3 zone is killing Tom Thibodeau. Don't get me started, man, with this mess. I'm tired of this mess, man. I'm tired of these high-profile coaches coming here and putting in these dumb-looking systems. Can't put one foot in front of the other. And don't tell me to be patient. These dudes get paid millions of dollars and can't beat a 2-3 zone with professional players. Don't be telling me to be patient, man. This is ridiculous. You don't. Anyway, either way, however it goes, Iverson Vlogs, man. Appreciate you being a part of the family. Appreciate it, for real, for real. Danny Griffin, yo, what's good? Good morning, good morning. Danny Lander says, we don't have any real good, consistent outside shooters, Freezy. Hey, man, okay. I'm trying not to go there. I'm trying to be patient with some dude named Tom Thibodeau and all this magic he's going to work. Oh, he's going to make such and such look such and such. Right. Okay. Right. I got you. I even wanted Tom Thibodeau for some reason. But a dude that was in our Twitter thread named Ed Memphis. Shout out to Ed Memphis. I think he's a contributor for the Memphis Grizzlies, right? He told me, this is like 3 years ago. He said, hey, man, to win in the NBA, you need excellent offensive players that can play a little bit of defense, because you can bring in defensive guys off the street. It's easier to find random guys to play defense than it is to find elite offensive skill players. And at the time when he said it, I was like, oh, like the light bulb over your head. The light bulb over your head. Like they're legit. There's only one Steph Curry. There's only one Kevin Durant. There's only one LeBron James, right? But how many guys can you find that can play defense? I mean, we got Frank stashed on our bench. Right? And I know a lot of people won't agree because Knicks fans value defense over everything. And it kind of goes into the conversation I had with Chuck B, Kev W, Legion of the Knicks podcast, and God of Moses and Elijah. Probably like about five hours ago. Well, no, probably about 6 hours ago, I guess now. About 6 hours ago, I had a conversation with them about how our culture is shooting us in the foot, basically. How the Knicks culture of wanting to have an elite defensive unit is the reason why we're stuck in the lottery every year. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a little bit. Our love and passion for defense keeps us in the lottery, basically. Think about that. Our culture, right? The culture of sports, our culture of sports and in the tri-state area keeps us in the lottery every year as it relates to basketball. Kane Jerry says, I feel like the Knicks didn't have to get rid of Alonzo Trier for Theo Pinson. Yes, you did. Because the Knicks value defense over offense. The Knicks value defense over everything. Yo, hey, so I appreciate, Quiet Money. I appreciate that. Yo, I appreciate the love that y'all showing Stephen Fox. Y'all need to keep that up. I need to see some more love for Stephen Fox because he does a great job with the Knicks at Night podcast. Right. And I appreciate everybody showing my man love. That's dope. We need to keep that up. Robert Parr says, remember, offense puts points on the board. Facts. At Stephen Fox got to trade for a shooter somehow. The Knicks don't even play Theo Pinson. Right. Right. And if Alonzo Trier was here, they wouldn't even play him either. And they wouldn't play him because our franchise values defense over everything. King E161 was good. Was good. Hey, now I'm hyped because King E is here. Now we hype because King E161 is back. Was good. So he said, players Knicks should trade for Rozier Fournier, Norman Powell, Ross Bagley Hood. Mindspace Invader. Right now, you have a NBA lotto culture. I hear so many Knicks fans calling for high draft picks. I agree. So I think our culture is the culprit. And last night I got smashed. Oh, the chat was killing me. The chat had torches and pitchforks out. Oh, Uncle Freezy is sleepy. Hey, I'm telling you, I took a little nap and now I think I'm doubling down on that thought. So what's y'all opinion? Marion Davis says his opinion. Hey, Marion Davis says start IQ and RJ. Mitch Knox Julius. We have to stay with the process. Where's Foxy at? Did Foxy say something? Foxy says at our future gaming morning, if we trade for Zach LaVine, where does RJ play? He would have issues facing the length and strength of threes. I kind of agree and disagree at the same time. I kind of agree and disagree because I think it depends on what type of offense you want to run. Right? Right now, Tom Thibodeau is playing it safe. Tom Thibodeau is in prevent defense right now. That's what I call it. Like he plays a defense that wants to prevent a fast-paced up and down game. And offense too. He wants to play a field position game. What Tom Thibodeau is running right now is the type of, in football, it would be the type of offense and defense you run when you have a very young quarterback. Right? You have a quarterback, all you do is run and then run play action off of it. And then if the pass is not there, you throw the football away and punt. That's the offense we're running right now. And I know y'all are not going to agree with me on Thibodeau and his position. But my take on it is the reason why I have this take on it is because basically so far from what I've seen, if teams get a big lead on us, the last few games, if teams get a big lead, it's over. We don't have the energy to get back in it. But my ultimate fear, and I'm gonna put this out here. Y'all know I'm not afraid to go on wax. Y'all know Uncle Freezy is not afraid to put his thoughts on wax. You know what I mean? I believe in some part, and maybe not whole, that the game may have passed Tom Thibodeau by. I think the current NBA game may have passed him by. I think the game may have passed him by. Lily Phillips was good. Lily Phillips says, RJ ain't it, Knicks fans. Wait too long to realize things. RJ ain't it. Knicks fans wait too long to realize things. RJ is having issues facing the length of 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. And some 7s and some 8s. Maybe some 9s also. Hey, I am Jarrell. That's funny as hell. That's funny. Right. This is one of the things that I wanted to get to. I was waiting for somebody to bring it up, and it's one of the things that I wanted to get to. Gordon Hayward went off against us because the Knicks didn't want to sign him when he was a free agent. So here's what I'm gonna tell you about that. I don't think it's just that. I don't think the fact that the Knicks defense is whack and it was the opportunity for Gordon Hayward to shine to rub it in the Knicks' face are mutually exclusive. I don't think they're mutually exclusive, right? I just don't. I think they were. So Knoxers came out of the woodwork yesterday or last night. Knoxers were like, "Oh, you see, if you give Knox touches, this is what blah 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 blah." Man, I don't care. I don't care. That should not be the storyline from last night's game. The storyline from last night's game is Tom Thibodeau got outcoached. Bad, too, by the way. Badly by a coach that saw a flaw. That was a team's flaw for like the past 6 games and exploited it in the worst way possible. Like not even letting the Knicks get in the game, really. Right? But the biggest thing is this, right? And so I'm trying to figure out. How does Gordon Hayward score 28 points in one half against the Knicks? Against Tom Thibodeau? And don't tell me no mess like look at the roster, and I don't care. I don't care about that. Because when you say names like Tom Thibodeau, he's supposed to come in and improve on what you have. And then schematically, he's supposed to be able to make adjustments. And he didn't. He looked like an idiot. We pass around all the blame on the ship. The ship is going down, and we pass around all the blame except to the captain. The ship has all these things going on, all these weird, funky things happening, and people are passing around blame like, oh, the first mate did such and such, and those guys downstairs and such and such and such. Wait a minute. When are we gonna start blaming the captain? We're gonna blame the crew, but the captain gets zero blame. Come on, party people. I know y'all. I know this. A lot of y'all. I've been around for a long time. A lot of y'all. I've been around for a long time, right? Yeah. Hey, Gordon looked like the Browns at 28 in the first. Yep. Knox is inconsistent. Yup. Richie Rich. Draft deadline trade Randall for Levine. Bulls about to blow it. I don't know yet. Lily Phillips says Freezy tight. Tibbs do look suspect though. Hey, don't stand on the Tom Thibodeau. We pay you a lot of money. Don't stand on the sidelines looking like Barney Fife. Do something. Tom Thibodeau legit looked like he wanted to scream for Andy. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Barney Fife, do something. How come crime always happen when Andy is gone and Barney is there by himself? Crime always happen. That's what Tom Thibodeau looked like yesterday. Yeah! The Knoxers have arrived.
You know I'm here to show up. You know I'm gonna show up this morning for you, Freeze. You know what it is.
I know you probably got a lot to say too. But you know what though? This is what I want to pose to you. How do we let Gordon Hayward score 28 points in the first half?
That's up to you, Bear Tears, man. Y'all gonna have to let me know that, cause us Knoxers, we definitely we caught about a good 8 of those points. I can't even front, but like Uncle Freezy, your boy RJ, man, what is up? Like, what's up, Uncle Freeze? What's up?
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what's up. Hey, you got the broadcast playing in the background?
No, it could. It's probably my son in the background, but I'll put it on mute.
Okay. Okay. Hey, no worries. No worries. I just wanted to make sure that you was clear. So I'm telling you, I'm not ready to blame RJ. I'm not ready to blame Alfred Payton. I'm not ready to blame Reggie Bullock. I'm not ready to blame others, Emmanuel Quickly, right? I'm not ready to blame Kevin Knox, right? I'm not ready to blame guys that we know have a history of being scorers. Excuse me, right? Come here and they can't score. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to put the blame on cats like Obi Toppin, who was known in college to be a scorer, get here and can't score. Emmanuel Quickly, Tom Thibodeau said out of his own lips, Tom Thibodeau said, Emmanuel Quickly is one of the best shooters that I've seen. Right? And then we let Tibbs coach him up, and Quickly can't hit a shot. I'm saying Reggie Bullock was 3-and-D. Reggie Bullock was 3-and-D. Every spot he went, he comes to New York, and guess what? His shot disappears. Kevin Knox has potential. Kevin Knox has potential, right? To be a scorer. He gets to New York, and guess what happens to his scoring?
Dies.
Right. You remember when he was untouched? When he was untouched, he was averaging about 12 points a game. When they touched him, his scoring average got cut in half.
Yep. He went to fumbling the ball and couldn't make a layup and you know what I'm saying, doing those irky jerky attacks to the basket. Like, bro, I mean, like you said, Freeze, I said the same thing on OG show last night, on Sim's show last night is
shout out to Sim, by the way.
Right. Nothing but Knicks, man. You know, it's all fam. Yeah. I said the same thing to Sim last night is that, you know, at first, I remember last year, y'all was killing me on the Fizdale. I'm telling y'all, no, Fizdale needs time to put in his offense. You know, we ain't got the right IQ players, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But then now this year, like you said, you know, I think I heard you say this yesterday, Freeze. You know, we see the success out there. We see the guys getting better. We see what we could be. But then, like you said, when we come out there tonight on a game like this where Knox was cooking in the first half, and like I said, we don't have 2 or 3 plays that is consistently set up for Knox. Like, you don't have 3 plays that set up for Knox. You don't have 3 plays that set up for RJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, every coach is going to have a set for every player. Like, okay, I know I can run this play and I can get Mitch a bucket. I know I can run this play and I can get RJ a curl and get him a wide open, you know what I'm saying, dunk or something. Knox, you know, I know I can run this. He gonna get a curl, pin down, catch him, you know what I'm saying, catch him a oop, or, you know what I'm saying, he got his floater game going. So again, Uncle Freeze, I might have to jump on your bandwagon with what's up, Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? Because again, right. I don't want to bash him, but offensively, you right. We like, this ain't the 90s. Being, I heard my boy, was it Wally or one of them said it in the post game last night that, yeah, we can play, like you said, that carbon copies 90s defense, but we can't play that carbon copies 90s offense. In today's world, you know what I'm saying, today's basketball, you can't play like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's about what you value. It's about what you value. That's what I'm trying to explain to the Knicks fans is it's not just Thibodeau. It's not just the front office. It's not just the owner. It's everybody. It's the fans, the owner, the front office, the coaching staff. What they want is that 90s style of team. And it doesn't work in this millennium. Okay? It don't work in this millennium. Charles Oakley's don't work in this millennium. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. Charlie Ward's don't work. Charlie Ward type players don't work this millennium, bro. You need a Dame Lillard type point guard this millennium. You need a Steph Curry type point guard this millennium. And people say, well, they're not really point guards, man. No, don't do that. Don't compare this era of point guards to point guards from the 90s, because all you do is solidify the argument. You know what I mean? That's all you do when you say, well, they don't do all the things like the classic point guard, man, John Stockton. And right. Those point guards were great back then. This era, no. This era, you need guys, you need, in order for you to win, in order for you to win a championship, you need dynamic point guard play. And don't give me the Rondo thing because LeBron James was basically the point guard for that team. They co-point guarded, if that's a correct grammar. We run out with LP, who's a 90s style point guard, and that's why we're not winning. Right? That's why we're not winning.
Facts. We like I was, and that's another thing I had said, and I gotta give OG Josh Kellerman all his roses, man, because again he's been screaming just that, like pound for pound, we just don't have the talent, at the guard position. And again, it starts with Elfrid Payton. I know a lot, a lot of people be bashing Elf, and I know a lot of people, is deserving to a degree. But with that being said, Elf is the corporate. He's giving us what he's giving us, but he is the corporate, culprit. We push the ball too slow. We just not a smart team with him at the helm. And then again, he's not I've seen somebody say he pads his stats. I wouldn't say he pads his stats. I would say more to the line that he just gets the buckets that he gets. It's not necessarily padding stats, but again, his points aren't, obviously, yeah, if we didn't get him, we would be 16, 18 points shorter. But the truth in the matter is his points aren't truly that effective for, us to win. So again, until, like you said, until we get some better guards or better point guards, we're going to be the laughing stock of the league. Just being real.
Right. And so my fear is that this front office is going to try to build a roster like the 90s Knicks in 2020. And you know what we're going to look like after they do it? We're going to look like the 90s Knicks in 2020. You know what I'm saying? So and they're going to spend like 3 or 4 years to do it. And we're still going to be like, well, this year we won 30 games, but next year we might win 50. Nah, I don't want to have that conversation 3 years in a row. I don't want to have that dumb conversation. And so Gregory Castillo says, we have seen CP3 improve teams more than a Dame type point guard. Hey, man, I feel you. And CP3 is an all-time great.
Yeah, and CP3 is in a class of his own. Like that dude, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like one of the tail ends of that golden era of 90s basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. He came in with LeBron and them in the early 2000s. So, you know what I'm saying? He got a different nostalgia about him and his game that I wouldn't even compare him to Rondo or any of those guys. Like CP is CP3. Like he is his own self. Like you can't even.
And so I'm gonna ask Prince. I'm gonna ask you this and Gregory Castillo. How many championships has CP3 won? Because clearly the argument against the gold standard of arguments against what I'm saying is CP3. So CP3 was supposed to be the secret super finishing move for my argument. Right? My argument throws up against the rope, and here comes their finisher. They pull out CP3. What? Gregory Castillo, CP3. I mean, what is CP3 won? I feel you, and I'm glad you contributed to the conversation, right? But really, what is CP3 won? And don't make excuses either. Like, oh, if he didn't get injured doing such and such, or man, all such and such had to do with such and such. Nah, if we use it like when we use the gold standard for something, that gold standard must have accomplished something, right? It's the reason why I didn't add Russell Westbrook to the argument, because Russell Westbrook has not won a thing. Oh well, you know what? He did win an MVP, so he at least won an individual award. But if you're talking about the, what a point guard should look like for this era, nah. Muhammad Musa says, who's CP3's best teammate ever? I don't know if I want to get into that, because then I'm going to ask you, who was Elfrid Payton's best teammate ever? You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to ask you who Emmanuel Quickly's best teammate ever was.
Because I'm thinking, like you said, OG, like, who did Elf have down there in Orlando? Like, what? Agent Rashard Lewis? Like, I mean, and I might be even dating myself. Like, who did he have down there? Like, didn't he have
Oladipo and Sabonis? Did he have Oladipo and Sabonis?
I don't even think. And if he did, it was only for like a short minute. If he did, OG, it was only for like.
Right, and so and I just want to say, to not to cut you off, Prince, but what I'm saying to the chat is I'm not looking to be disrespectful to my brothers and sisters. Because people in the chat, y'all are my brothers and sisters. We do this every day, not because, I'm saying, we want to create beef amongst ourselves. It's because we legit come here to have a conversation every day, right? That's our goal, to have a conversation every day, right? We want to come here and vent and try to figure out some stuff. So I'm not going at y'all, and I don't want y'all to come at me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and not that I'm afraid of smoking none of that stuff. What I'm saying is that what I want to do is try to figure out some stuff. And I want y'all to help me. And I want to be able to try to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we are Knicks brothers and brethren and sisters, right? That's what we are in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, this is a family reunion. It's not a feeding frenzy. So when I ask y'all these questions and such, it's so that we can understand what it is that we're getting ourselves into. I honestly believe my worst fear when we were back in July, when Thibodeau was the hot name, my biggest fear was, I hope this dude's not going to come here and be Larry Brown all over again. That's what I didn't want. I didn't want some proven coach with a lot of wins on his resume to come to New York, try to revert and Larry Brown was trying to revert that Knicks team back towards the 80s Knicks. Like, play together, play unselfish, play team defense, or play all for one another, all kind of stuff. Meanwhile, Allen Houston stayed hurt. You know what I'm saying? And we wound up getting rid of Larry Brown and paying out the 5 years on his contract after one dumb season.
And what I was gonna say real quick, I don't want to, stop you on your frenzy. But I was gonna say, I respect the pillars of those 80s and 90s basketballs. But like you said, when you're talking about offensive philosophies and the way the game is played today, like you said, we got to live in today. Like, you can bring a lot of those same, like you said, just fight hard and, fight for your brethren and all of that. You can bring that to your team camaraderie from those older basketball eras. But again, you got to bring a new brand of basketball. And I respect that, Freeze. Eat.
Yeah, man. So Legion of the Knicks podcast said, and this is my guy. Oh, hey. So Legion of the Knicks podcast. I got something more important than this discussion. I got something to talk to you about that's more important than this discussion, right? So you and I talked about having an all-star level baseball player, a Gold Glove winner, on an interview for Lawrence Tears and Legion of the Knicks podcast. Well, guess what? We can do that this week. We can do that this week. I was gonna hit you up last night when I got the text message but I dozed off. So my bad, man. I hate to tell it to you over the air like this, but I'll try to remember to send you a text message later on. But it's an odd circumstance. So I need to talk to you about it before we nail it down. If you're okay with it, just throw a thumbs up in the thing, man, or hit me up on text. I probably should have texted that to you, but since we are both in the same thing, man. And so shout out to Legion of Knicks podcast too, by the way, for looking to provide the utmost in quality content. Same thing that we try to do here. I know sometimes we get Jerry Springer-ish. But our ultimate goal is to provide the very best content that is possible through YouTube live streams. And so far, I think Blanche Tears is batting 1,000. So a few months ago we had Super Bowl winner, Hall of Fame linebacker from the New York Giants, Harry Carson. We had an interview with Harry Carson. It was a dope interview. I think he enjoyed it just as much as we did. And now we have a second thing that we're working on. To bring to the NBK fam, the Lawrence Tears family, the Legion of Knicks podcast family. We're looking to provide some high level stuff that you don't get from other YouTube channels. And he and I had been working on coordinating some stuff. So we have a guest in the bag. Right now we're just working on logistics. Right. And I don't want to say the name of the guest yet. Legion probably don't want to share it yet either. What we want to do is surprise y'all. Right. We want to do some previews, some promo first, surprise y'all with who it is, and then build it up so that both audiences, the Legion of Knicks podcast and the Blanche Tears family, can all enjoy the interview all at the same time. We're looking to bring y'all some dope stuff. I'm working on trying to bring y'all a very popular ex New York Jets player, and I'm also working on bringing a very not popular an ex Knicks player that some of us are very fond of, right? So we're working on some stuff, because listen, we don't do these channels here just to talk for 4 straight hours. Y'all don't want to hear me talk for 4 straight hours. Y'all don't want to go deep in the mind of Uncle Freezy for 4 hours. Y'all don't want that, right? And trust me, because sometimes I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So what we do want is a family atmosphere, a friendly atmosphere where Knicks fans, Mets fans can come together and enjoy themselves, have some dope guests and stuff on, and then that way you can get something different from what you normally get.
Oh, y'all ain't got love for the Yankees? Y'all ain't got love for the Yankees?
No, not at all.
What you say, Freeze? I'm gonna keep it 100. What you say? I'm gonna keep it 100. No, y'all stay over there, man.
Yeah,
y'all
right.
Stay over there.
Right. Nah, it's the thing. It's the thing. If you're a Giants fan, and a Yankees fan, you don't need a channel dedicated to y'all to show y'all love, because y'all have championships that y'all can go point at, right? But if your heart is broken every year with something, and when you cry those blue and orange tears, you know what it's like. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, and I probably should have said it in a different way. But I'm tired, bro. Legion, I probably should have sent you like a 2-page text message saying all that stuff, but I'm tired, bro. I'm just gonna say it, man. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you don't. Hey, Ghostface Killer, don't take that in a disrespectful way, man. But I'm tired, man. Hey, just take it how you can get it at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So back to these Knicks though. Back to these Knicks. The thing that we're that's frustrating me. Gordon Hayward scored 28 points in the first half against the Knicks yesterday. And that was overshadowed by the fact that Kevin Knox scored 17 points in the first half yesterday, right? And it frustrates me because no player in the NBA should be scoring 28 points in a half against Tom Thibodeau.
Bro, because LeBron ain't dropping numbers like that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way he was moving, he was on his way to like a 50, 60 point game, bro, if he would have continued on like that.
Right. And it was quiet 28 too. It wasn't like he was just ISOing our best defender and the crowd was going crazy after every made basket. It was like, oh, dude's got 8. He's got 14. Okay, dude got 20. Wow, he's got 25. Wait a minute. Dude's got 28 points at the half. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I saw CK2K and Trey from Terry and Trey, who I love, by the way. So let me do my shout outs real quick. So shout out to Terry and Trey, man. They're awesome. Right? Awesome. I ain't gonna lie to you. Trey impresses me because I generally don't hear chicks talk about ball like that. You know what I'm saying? Trey impresses me because I don't necessarily hear chicks talk about, and when I say chick, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, Uncle Freezy talk a certain way. Sometimes it appears to be greasy, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I hear talk about the Knicks, I'm like, yo, okay. She more dialed in than some of the dudes I bring in on the show. And Terry is like trying to get in there and say something because Terry can get. Hey, Terry is that dude. Listen. Shout out to both of them. So shout out to both of them, man. I love the show. But I saw Trey and CK2K right do their joint and let me get this out of the way. So shout out to CK2K. Congratulations to him and his New Orleans Saints for beating my Chicago Bears. Right? They embarrassed us. All right. Hey, CK2K, you okay with that now? You okay? Is that enough? Is that enough? Or do I have to say it louder? Shout out to CK2K. Congratulations to his Saints for beating my Chicago Bears. Okay, so now I bought Prince. I created the smoke on Twitter. On Twitter, I was about to call him by his government name.
Freeze, you did not go to that man's house knocking on his door looking for a fight. You did not do that, Freeze. Please tell me you did not do that.
Actually, I pounded on the door. Yeah, actually, I pounded on the door. I was like, hey, CK2K. You know your Saints play the Bears this week? Oh my God. Hey, so I wear a size 14. So can you imagine putting a size 14 foot in your mouth? So I put a size 14 foot in my own mouth. Hey, I created my own smoke. I just burned rubber in the spot. I just stood in one spot and just burned rubber, creating my own smoke. But So anyway, my point was I heard CK talk about that was the quietest 28 points that he had seen in a while. And I was like, you know what? You absolutely right. Because because the way Miles Bridges was dunking on us, or whoever the kid was dunking on us, you would have thought he'd be the one with 28 points.
We got madly, you know, and that's just the thing. And when we keep going, you know, we keep going back to this in this circle. But again, we just got outplayed at the guard position. There's no way that he should have played that consistent. And again, he's good, but to me, it almost seemed like he kind of thumbed his nose at us, like, oh, y'all ain't want to give me the super max, so I'm gonna torch y'all. Like, but again, you still trash. You know what I'm saying, Gordon Hayward. But again, I kind of felt like that's why he kind of came out there cooking like that, because he was mad we didn't give him the Supermax, which I'm glad we didn't give him the Supermax.
Right. Man, I know I don't see a Steelers hoodie. I know I would be so embarrassed right now.
Hey, Uncle Benny, I figure if Dallas Cowboy fans can keep putting their star on, I could put my shield on. You know what I'm saying?
He calling me Benny Snake Eyes Johnson.
How long you been doing it for?
I've been shooting dice for 40 years. All right, shooter, it's your turn. The shooter rolls a 3. That's a 5-year-old blind fool.
Hey, just put your glasses on, man.
Yeah. What's her name? What was
Della Reese.
What was her name in the movie? I forgot.
Golly, man, we're getting too old.
Golly, I forgot her name. I forgot. Vera, I don't need no glasses. I'm Benny Snake Eyes Johnson. I've been calling him for 40 years. The shooter rolls a 3. That's a 5, you blind fool.
She's like, you shut the F up, Benny. I would tell you to kiss my ass, but you probably can't find it, you blind. Oh man!
Oh my god! Hey,
I miss it so much.
Man, I love that movie.
Yeah, man.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Hey, so Legion of Knicks podcast said, Haywood, Gordon Hayward isn't worth that money. Nah, man. Nah, I'm not saying that he was worth that money. But what I am saying is, it makes no sense that a player can get motivated by disrespect and score 28 points in a half.
Yes, sir.
On Tom Thibodeau, who is known for defense. That's what I'm getting at. And if you think Gordon Hayward is motivated, you wait until you see Kevin Durant, who we thumbed our nose up. I'm telling y'all, not you, Cornerstone Cav.
I know.
But I'm saying the people that think that we don't value defense over offense. Okay. All right. Tom Thibodeau is a defensive-minded coach, right?
Yes,
yep.
Sir.
All right. So you watch what happens. I hope we win the game. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've been throwing a lot of shade at Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And this is his first game against us.
Yes, sir. Those chickens might come home to roost quickly. Those chickens might come home to roost tomorrow night. So we've got to. Here you go. We've got to be on a game. Let's get
right. And you know what? And Ernesto says I would have been overly irate. Wow, overly irate. Irate. I thought it's just okay. Overly irate. That's beyond the man, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
If we had given Hayward that contract,
you know what? You know why he says that? Because it would have been the same cycle of us throwing money towards a player that really doesn't. I would say doesn't really, deserve that type of contract.
Right.
That's been our MO, and that goes all the way back. Spreezy, you know this. This goes all the way back to Isaiah giving what's the name? Who was that big center for us?
Eddie Curry. No, Jerome James. Yeah.
He started that cycle, and it's been like that, ever since.
Yep.
It's been like that. Even when Phil was here, when he gave all that money to Jakeem Noah.
Oh my God!
Brandon Jennings, Chris Lee. I'm probably saying his name. Courtney Lee. All those guys, man. All those guys, and
right.
and Rose said, enough. We have to go another way, and that's the reason why we didn't give him that money.
Right.
Now, what the problem that I have with last night's game is, you're talking about Gordon Hayward. Why couldn't we put a bounty on him? Why couldn't we put a body on him?
Our coach and coaching staff
Yeah,
got out coached last night.
absolutely. This was the coaching staff that we thought that we had advantage over all the other teams.
Right.
And they're making all the haters and the doubters look like geniuses because
and the realists
look like geniuses because of our aptitude on the defensive end.
Right.
I mean, we had Woody and we have Tibbs, two of the highest defensive people in coaching, and we couldn't come up with a game plan to counteract what Gordon was really doing. And he wasn't really the one I was really afraid of. It was that freaking Nat Graham.
Right.
He was the one. And then after that, I put Terry Rozier before Gordon Hayward.
Right.
So it's like you made a guy who we passed on make him look like the next coming of Larry Bird.
Right.
And that's a problem with me. That's a problem.
Yes, it's a problem, and so to your point, a defensive-minded head coach, and I know it wasn't in a back-to-back, but there should be some principles where if somebody scores 10 points in the first half, you should be able to make adjustment.
I'm making a conscious effort.
Right, and so once this player gets 15 points in a half, you're like, hey man, this dude only scores about 20 a game. He's on pace. He's on pace for 30. Right. How about we do something?
Exactly.
Right. So when he gets to 20 points, you're like, hey man, this dude has got his season average in one half against us. Let's do something. But to let that get to 28 points, though, Cal?
Exactly. If other teams can try to get the ball out of Randall's hands, not let him operate, not let him do what he does. Let him do what he does. Why can't we do the same against somebody else's quote unquote star or who's cooking?
Right. Right.
That's what that all comes down to. Now, I'm only going to give it a little smidge that we don't have the personnel right now because we're missing bodies. Right. And I don't care what this chat says. I said it on Sim's show yesterday and Ron's show. We're missing Ntilikina for his defensive presence. We're missing that.
I think I'm with you.
We're missing that.
And so the thing is with me and Frank Ntilikina is this. So me and Frank Ntilikina are off again, on again, off again.
Right.
People, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're on again, off again because he'll show the glimpses that I want to see be realized at that potential realized full time. He'll show the glimpse of that, and then we'll be on again. And then he'll revert back. He'll go back into his turtle shell, and then we'd be off again. You know what I'm saying? So I say, man, Frank should be on that road to being Bruce Bowen, and then I'm saying, and then you hear me say Frank is a 6'4" 3 rounders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not because.
But here's the thing. We've discussed that plenty of times, and I have no problem with that. Right now, at this moment, I just need him on the defensive end because you look at the 3 losses we had. He could have matched up against Gilchrist. He could have matched up against Gilchrist.
Yeah.
He could have matched up against. Luckily, he really didn't torch us, but he was still effective. He could have matched up against Murray or Harris.
Yeah.
One of those 2 guys.
Yeah.
And then last night, I guarantee you, he would have matched up against one of the 3, or probably 2 of the 3.
Or all 3. You don't have to stay locked on. You don't have to stay locked on one guy. You can defend who you want.
All 3.
Right.
Clips could have said, Frank, I need you to stick so and so. Frank, I need you to stick Rozier. Frank, I need you to stick Hayward. And he would have done it. The one thing that Frank has always done what the coach has asked him to do.
Right.
And people want a point. When they say they want a point guard to be think on his own pretty much, and and do whatever. Frank has always been that player to do whatever the coach tells him to do. And I think that right there is the problem with a lot of fans, because he's always telling them he's not thinking on his own, like taking a risk or whatever. He's always doing what the coach asked him to do, whether it was Hornacek, Fizdale, Miller, and now Tibbs. He's always doing what they asked him to do. And right now, all we need him to do right now is be on the floor to stop whoever.
And so to your point, and so sometimes it's boring for the viewers when everybody agreed, but again, to your point, man, when you look at the final score of the Oklahoma City game, you can't let the final score dictate what the game was like in your mind, right? You can't do that because if all the Knicks had to do was shoot below average in the early going, and we probably would have won that game going away in a blowout, right? Because that defense that OKC saw at first, they couldn't score. So even if the Knicks were shooting below average, we'd have been up by 12, 13, 14 points on them. Yeah. But they were shooting we were shooting poor, and they were shooting poorer than us. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were.
So when you look at if you get off work and look at your phone and see such and such beat us by 10, that's not a true indicator of how the game went.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Oklahoma City had a contribution from a dude named Hamidou Diallo, who you had never even heard of in your life. You heard
I have not.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you have Frank there, hey, I'm coming, Prince. Hold on. If you have Frank there, I think Frank makes a difference. Not by scoring.
Not by scoring,
but by neutralizing.
Yes, and that's the mentality that Knicks fans have got to understand. It's not by his scoring. Anything scoring wise that he connects on, that's gravy. That's brown gravy right there.
Y'all making me hungry this morning.
Yeah, exactly. We just need him for the defense. That's all we need him for. And I'm telling you, he would have provided that.
Right.
That's what we're missing.
Yeah, we are. Well, again, Kev, you know what I'm saying? And again, as much as that's 100% true, man, bigger than anything, we see we all have to play better defensively, but that's the guards, period. Like, all of our guards have to find a way to play better, because again, like you said, and like Uncle Freeze just said, Frank, he can switch off and guard other people, but damn, man, you know what I'm saying? How many people should I have to guard? Like, I can only guard one guy per possession, truly. But again, I can switch. But at the end of the day, like, somebody else has to play defense outside of Frank. You know what I'm saying? And again, everybody who loves to hate on Frank, you see what happens when Frank ain't there. Guards run rampant on us. Like, guards and wings run rampant. So until Frank comes back, or we play a consecutive, brand of, or collective, wrong word, a collective brand of defense where we all play together. Like I said, we don't have anybody who can go out there and pound per pound shut a guy down outside of Frank, or even, like you said, slow a guy down.
Slow him down.
Yeah. You saw the Denver game. No lie. Gary Harris shot a jump shot, right? Saw it was off, crashed the boards, grabbed the rebound over two Knicks bigs, pump faked, looked him in the face, pump faked again, dribbled the ball out of the paint, and kicked it out to a guy that shot a three-pointer.
Right now, we're getting punked. In these last three games, we're getting punked. We're literally getting punked. I would have loved to have gone. I mean, of course, I would have loved to win all three, but I really suspected that we would have went like at least 2-1. And the only game we probably would have lost was Denver. Everything else, we would have. All right, and so Kevin Middleton saying Hayward would have killed Frank. he was backing RJ down. But the thing about it was RJ doesn't have the long arms as Frank does. So
so here's the thing to that too, Kev. This is
Frank. I mean, RJ has been getting cooked. We seen RJ done got cooked the last 3 games defensively. Yeah. So again, like that's a horrible take. I hate to say it, but that's a horrible take to say that Frank wouldn't have done nothing against Gordon. That's a lie.
Well, let me ask Kevin. Let me ask Kevin Middleton this. Kevin Middleton. So Haywood backed RJ down and cooked RJ, right? Why didn't Thibodeau tell RJ to back Hayward down and cook? Hadn't RJ been struggling shooting jumpers? Why not?
He's honest. Well, Freeze, he's getting those opportunities to do that. But as much as I hate to say it, to put it back in RJ's plate, Uncle Freeze, is he ain't making them shots, bro. Just to be honest. And that's the difference too. Like I watched Deontay Graham and them go at Mitch, and they finished over Mitch. So again, you talking about one of the best shot blockers in the game, and their guards was finishing over the best shot blocker in the game, and we can't even finish over guys who are 6'2", 6'4", 6'5", let alone a real center. So again, like it's a lot of questions and a lot of concerns that again is just right now we can't answer. I think
it goes back to the coaching staff. I think it just goes back to the coaching staff, man. The coaching staff, to me, it looks in over their head. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way Thibodeau looked. And I know people will say a bad roster will make anybody look like that. But some of this stuff is to me too elementary. Like, how about we give the ball to a big guy that can post up a little guy and just go in and shoot very short jump shots from like 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet. Gordon Hayward did it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to complain about Mitchell Robinson because he's been playing great. And what he's done, he's been playing great. I just wish he would be more offensively, make himself more of a threat on the offensive end. Because what you just said, Freezy, he would have been, if he had like that simple hook shot, or even like a 2-point short jumper, he'd be unstoppable. And then that's another dimension on our offense that people would have to guard against. Because they'll say, "Oh, we can't really leave Mitch open because we got to do something. We got to double team him or something because he has that hook shot or that short jumper in his arsenal." He's got to make himself a little bit more of a threat than just going for the lobs. Right. I mean, it's lucky that we've been getting. Well, I haven't really just seen any lobs within the. What? Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I saw a few lobs, but you see how hard it is to get those lobs into him.
Right, because they zone up on us now.
Right.
When guards turn the corner, they have a 3-man triangle defensively, where one man is bodying the ball handler coming in, and then you have 2 guys looking to protect against the interior pass, whether it's vertical or horizontal. They have 2 guys looking to protect. And I don't want to get into all this coach speak stuff because most fans don't care about that stuff. What they care about is did he make the shot or miss it?
Right.
It's basically what most fans want to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
So the thing is with me, and I know we had a discussion yesterday over Frank or Knox, right? And the reason why I brought it up is because the frustrating thing to me was guards are looking to cook us.
Yep.
Right. And the game du jour that I point to is the Toronto Raptors game. The Toronto Raptors were 0-3, playing home games in a neutral city, right? Their best player was out, did not play.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And they were struggling from the field.
Yep.
And we come in there and they whoop our rump.
Right.
Yeah. Gave us the business.
Think about all those things I just said. Think about all those things I just said. That was in our favor. We go in there and they put the spank on us.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Their guards legitimately did not orchestrate offense at all.
When you didn't see Pascal Siakam in the lineup, you already thought, oh, we should be able to we should be coming away with this. And I get that we couldn't hit the ball in the ocean. I get all that. But if Frank was in there, going up against Lowry and
Van Vliet, and Norm Powell. Yep.
Norm Powell. If anything, Powell, because mainly he was the one that was really cooking us.
Right. And so what I keep reiterating is their point guards did not orchestrate some great offense. They didn't.
No.
They were fortunate. Their bigs were beating us to the basketball on offensive rebounds, kicking it out to guys that were not even in the play.
And that's a problem. Yep. And that's a problem. When you get outworked, that's a problem in my book, especially for Tibbs' team.
Yep.
How many times when Tibbs was on the Bulls did their teams always outwork us?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And so the thing about Elfrid Payton is this. I think people say that Elfrid Payton is a stat patter. I think he's what we call a miser. You know what like a miser is? The dude like Scrooge McDuck. You remember Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
You remember DuckTales, where the dude was loaded, had all this stuff, but he used the bare minimum of his resources.
Yeah.
That's Elfrid Payton, in my opinion. Like Elfrid Payton is fast in the half court. Like Elfrid Payton can go by just about anybody in the half court, right? But he chooses not to.
Nope.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Elfrid Payton could do a whole lot of stuff, but he chooses to do it miserly. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like think about this. When Emmanuel quickly had his breakout and Elfrid Payton was struggling, you notice immediately Elfrid Payton had a breakout game.
Yeah, of course.
Because his job was on the line. Of course. You know, so his career was on the line. But now that IQ is struggling, do you notice that Elfrid Payton is struggling?
He slide back.
Right, because there's no threat to his job.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah. So
and you saw it last night in a few other games. This game and the Denver game. Those teardrops that he usually that he hits.
Yeah.
Hitting them.
Yeah.
He was right at the basket, and he's missing them.
Right.
Like, what the hell? That's what we've seen what you're accustomed to doing. And you're missing. So now the narrative is going back again. All the hate people of Peyton, it's coming back again.
But what's going to happen when Quickly figures it out? Then Elfrid Payton will step his game up. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But why is that? Why do we need Scrooge McDuck? You know, why do we need a miserly point guard who only makes the safe pass? Like if it's not absolutely 100% safe, he's not gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? If there's any risk, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make the pass. Which leads to RJ Barrett getting the ball with 6 seconds left on the shot clock for it having to be forced to do something. Right? And so the thing is with RJ, I think you need to let RJ Barrett ISO more. I know Tom Thibodeau wants to preach team offense, but team offense is getting you an average over the last 3 games, 90 points per game.
Yeah,
and it's a rough 92. I mean, it's a rough 90. Yeah,
it is. I can't be. You put out a poll on Twitter saying what is your level.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm at mild, all for the simple reason of RJ. I see him take 3 after 3. He has to understand right now that the 3 is not dropping for you. It's not.
Right.
It's not. I'd rather you do what you do best. Play the bully ball. Do that. I know that they're shooting the zone at you. They're throwing the zone at you, but you guys have got to find a way to conquer that. And all it is just flipping the ball around. I see a lot of times that the ball sometimes sticks too much. They don't make the right passes, and then we're like 2 or 3 seconds. I mean, 3 or 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and we're forced to, to throw up a shot and everything.
Right.
They have got to with RJ. He has got to find a way to get easier baskets for himself.
And others though, and others, Kev, because RJ Barrett getting in that mindset of being creative is an awesome play. It's the reason why he was drafted third, right? And when you get RJ Barrett in that mindset where he has a half of the floor to himself, where he can either make a basket or get somebody else involved, is elite in my opinion. But when you have him being, in this offense where everybody's sharing the ball, touching it, blah blah blah, with no gravity towards RJ. Like for instance, when Julius Randle touches the ball, gravity happens. Defenders suck. Either they go to him or they place their eyes on him.
And you're seeing that too. They'll throw 2 or 3 guys at Randle,
right, to get the ball out of his hands, right?
Yep.
But with RJ, you don't get that. All you have is their best rim protector in the paint, and RJ's man glued to him. So when he goes to the basket, it's 2 defenders against 1 RJ Barrett.
And that's why I'm saying he's got to throw. He's got to, when he recognizes that, he's got to pass the ball out. He's got to.
Right. And so what RJ Barrett doesn't realize is that's gravity. Like that's the 2-on-1 scenario that you want, right? Like 2 defenders on 1 offensive player. Somebody else on the floor is open, RJ Barrett.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so maybe you need to bring a player with RJ Barrett. When RJ Barrett crashes, maybe you need to bring Mitch from the other side so RJ can throw a lob.
Or something. Or something, because right now I see a kid who looks like his confidence is dwindling just a little.
Yeah.
And because his shots aren't going in,
right,
that's feeding into everybody else. It's not feeding into Randle, because Randle's going to do what he does. Right. But I think it's feeding into everybody else, even on the bench, because this is a totally different quickly than I'm seeing than when I first saw him. I mean,
look, hey, Clyde, Clyde is in the chat. Hey, Clyde Frazier, what's good? I know that's not Clyde Frazier. I'm joking.
No, the one thing I'll say, he said last night's Hornets guards, 4-star guards to start the offense near half court. The one thing that I will say, and I know the Prince will probably agree with this. The one thing I will say about the Hornets guards are like bulldogs, both of them. Between Graham and Rozier, they're both like bulldogs. I mean, the remember the steal that Graham took from I think it was between RJ and between somebody, but he caught the steal and went in for a layup. I forget. Yeah. These guys are like bulldogs.
Right, because we're predictable.
Right. Exactly. We're like you said, we're a predictable offense.
Right. And
whereas you go against another team, you don't know what they're going to throw at you.
Right.
Offensively.
Right. No doubt. And so the thing is with the offense, these defensive-minded guys think offense, anybody can, let's just play defense, man. We'll put an excellent defensive scheme in here, and the points will come. No, man. The points ain't just going to come.
They're not.
It don't happen like that.
Right.
You have to, in order to, let me shout out some people first. Let me do this real quick. So Kodak Vlogs was good. I thought I saw Ala Wise in here somewhere. Did I see Alawaz? Shout out to Alawaz if whether he's here or not. How about that? James Mills, what's good? Who else? Oh, Simma Singh is in here somewhere too. Shout out to Simma Singh. Simma Singh, what's good?
Simma Singh.
App Trader is in here somewhere too. App Trader, what's happening? I saw you somewhere in here. Primo says we have nobody going in, everybody content with pump faking at the 3-point line and then side dribbling only to pass again. Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
Yep. My frustration level is so high with this team that it's
okay. So what are your three things that's glaring for you that's frustrating you the most?
So frustration thing number one. The culture values defense more than they value the way the current NBA is played. Right?
Okay.
All right. So while that sounds complicated, it's not. Just play modern basketball like everybody else. That's all I want you to do. It's not 1987, Tom Thibodeau. You know what I'm saying? Play modern NBA basketball.
So when you mean modern NBA basketball, what do you mean?
Defensively, I would like to see a mix of aggressive man-to-man and exotic zones on defense.
Okay.
All we do is we play man-to-man and ice the pick and roll. We want the pick and roll to go towards the sideline. That's what we want. We want teams to attack us from the side and corners defensively, so that they have less room on the court to operate. I don't care about that, Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care what you.
And just real quick, just to answer Simma Singh, he said Frank will not help us. I believe he will defensively. He will help us defensively. So all right, keep going.
All right. So thing number two is I feel like the roster. The roster is flawed because we wanted the roster to be flawed, not because we couldn't help ourselves, and that bothers me. Right? The roster is flawed because we wanted it to be that way, and so think about this. Like everybody will say, "Man, what is Uncle Freezy talking about? How was the roster flawed because we wanted it to be flawed?" Well, for one, while I like Obi Toppin, Julius Randle is your best player.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to disagree with you with that. Absolutely.
Right. I love Obi Toppin. I love the pick. Right. I love Obi Toppin. But man, it sure would have been nice to have like a 3-and-D wing right now, like the kid that San Antonio took, or the sharpshooter from Vanderbilt. The guy that couldn't miss in college.
Right.
What would it be like? Can you imagine having him, Kevin Knox, and Emmanuel Quickly on the floor at the same time?
Nah. Yeah.
Hey, do you think RJ Barrett can score then with a spread floor? Right. With 3 knockdown shooters on the floor at the same time?
I think, and this goes to your think.
Kev, let me say my third one first, and then because you asked me about 3, and I'm gonna just say it, and then I'm gonna completely get out of your way. Okay, I'm gonna completely get out of your way. Okay, so number 3, I feel like Tom Thibodeau is gonna be Larry Brown for us. And he's showing.
I was thinking.
I think the game has passed him by. The game has passed him by, but it looks like in the early stages he looks sharp.
Oh man!
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man! But I was we were thinking alike, man. We were thinking alike a little bit because many years ago we were thinking the same thing that we got. That we got Larry Brown, and we was gonna, be the only caveat to that was I didn't know how toxic the relationship was between him and Marbury. I really didn't. So that's the one caveat. But still,
and so think about this, Kev. Think about this narrative. Think about this. I took a point guard and led him to the MVP. I'm known to be a defensive-minded head coach.
Uh-huh.
Think about what that sounds for me. Is that Larry Brown or is that Tom Thibodeau?
Yeah.
Or is that both? It's both.
Yeah.
Both took guards to the MVP. I think Allen Iverson won the MVP. I'm not for sure. If he didn't, he should have. Right? but I have to check and see if Allen Iverson won an MVP award.
Yeah. He actually did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took a little guard on a team that was going nowhere and took them to a winning record, and that guard won MVP. I won Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Which coach is that? Is that Larry Brown or is that Tom Thibodeau? Is both. Both did it. That's why I'm saying this Tom Thibodeau thing sounds Larry Brown-ish.
I hope not, man. I hope history doesn't repeat itself with that. And I'm not going to put him on there, but it was in my mind. it was in my mind.
Right. Hey, so RC Creative says I'm losing it, but you know what though? The comparisons are real.
Yeah. Some of them. The only difference is that I think 10 games in, I think Brown only won maybe one or two games. And now we're 11 games in, and we're only below 500 by a game. So, but again, all that could be resolved if we win tomorrow. I mean, we got Brooklyn tomorrow, then we got the Cavaliers on Thursday. I mean on Friday, and Sunday we have the Celtics.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now. If we made Gordon Hayward look like what he did last night, there's no telling what Tatum and
Jaylen Brown
are going to make us look like. So here's the thing: they're back home today. I'm hoping that they're watching film and everything, and just practicing hard today. And then you'll still be home for practice on Thursday till they go out to Cleveland. They gotta because one thing that Thibodeau said was they haven't had much practice time. To a point, he's right, but they got to get back in the lab and find out what the hell is going on when these guys throw this zone at us. Whichever team, I think last night Charlotte was the one team that really executed doing what they wanted to do with their zone. I mean, we've been doing bad against the zone, but Charlotte really executed it last night.
Right. So,
but yeah, man, the sky's not falling. We're only one game behind. Let's just, people had us, winning only 2 games by the time the 11th game rolled around. So
for the record, I had us about 40 and 32. 40 wins and 32 losses. That's why I'm out. That's why I'm like, man, what's going on?
Well, you're not what's the word for it? You won't be far off, because we also got to take into consideration we're missing bodies too.
Right.
We're missing bodies as well. Now, if we were full strength and we were screwing up the way we are, that's a problem. That's a problem, because you're full strength. You got the shooting in Burks and Knox. We shouldn't be 6-5 at full strength.
Right. So the deal. So my thing is if Obi's here, if Obi's here, if Alec Burks is here, if Frank is here,
yeah,
I think our record is closer to 7-4. And
also sprinkle. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. The Prince is going to agree with me as well. Richard Bullock was was healthy as well. Yeah, we would. I think we would have a better record than what we have right now.
Yeah, I can say. So Prince, what you think, man?
I'm definitely with that, because again, like I said, a lot of our woes has been because, again, our legs are tired. We don't have adequate help. But again, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer like my boy Josh Kellerman. But this year we have to overhaul our guards. Like if we gonna keep RJ, we gonna keep Quick, we gonna keep Austin and Frank. The next 2-3 guards that we bring in have to be guys that can create their own shot and make a damn shot. Like we need guards and point guards who can come in and actually score the damn ball. Excuse my language. But you know what I'm saying, bigger than anything, I'm not super worried because again, like we all know, we are missing one of our true focal points of our offense, and that's Alex Burke. Even though he was a guy who's a journeyman and all of that, but I'm pretty sure behind the scenes they looked at him to be as one of the top tier scorers with Julius and RJ and whoever else came to play. But again, Burks was supposed to be a very crucial part of our offense. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me ask you this, and so. A conspiracy theorist at work asked me this, and I'm not for the record, y'all. I don't believe in conspiracy theories like that. The only conspiracy theory I believe in is that the NBA has it out for the Knicks, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's my only conspiracy theory, right? And people are like, Uncle Freezy, you're crazy. You're wearing. They're like, Uncle Freezy's wearing an aluminum foil antenna on his hat. You're crazy. You know what I'm saying? So,
clicks.
But yeah, but the thing is, and so I'm gonna say this briefly about that conspiracy theory, and I'll move on. You have never seen the Knicks in your life move up in the draft, right? Nope. As much as the Knicks have been in the lottery, point to one time where the Knicks started in one spot before the draft started and moved up in the draft. Point to it, and I'll throw that theory away. In the 35 years of the NBA lottery, when have the Knicks moved up once? At least one spot.
Not to my knowledge, OG. Not like I don't remember it.
Right. Now with that said, also, in your lifetime, when has a Michael Jordan signed with the Knicks? When has a LeBron James signed with the Knicks? When has a generational player in their prime signed with the Knicks?
Never. I mean, like you said, outside of Melo forcing the trade, and that wasn't a sign. So yeah, I mean, we haven't had it. It hasn't came, Freezy.
Never. Because Amari Stoudemire, as good as he was not a generational player when we signed him. He was a very, 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 very good player. He was a star, but he was no LeBron James. Right? He was no LeBron James. Right? I'm just saying. So with that said, I'm gonna let that rock. So here's the point that I did want to share with y'all. Guy from work. Talk to me. I'm walking past the break room, chilling, minding my business, walking by the break room. I'm like, I wonder what they got. Wonder if they got a healthy snack in here. I'm lying. I wasn't looking for no healthy snack. I was looking for any snack. So anyway, you're like, yo, Uncle Freezy, check it out, B. I know what they doing. And I'm like, oh, here we go. What are we doing, dog? Don't be wasting up my 15-minute break with this nonsense. He was like, yo, the Knicks are tanking. So I say, what? I'm like, dog, you didn't call me all the way over here to tell me that mess. He's like, hey, guess what? I did call you over here to tell you that mess. He said, yo, the Knicks are tanking right before your eyes, and you can't tell. You can't tell because they're doing an excellent job at it. He said, you can't tell because they're doing an excellent job at it. He was like, when have you seen a Knicks player get hurt on the court? And I was like, what you mean? A Knicks player get hurt on the court? Alec Burks got hurt on the court. Aside from Alec Burks, every other Knicks player has got hurt in practice, and they've been out. And they've been out for a while. And I was like, well, Kevin Knox. He was like, yeah, but Kevin Knox is back, right? And did you see his shooting after he was hurt? And I was like, oh, you know what? You got a point. So tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think the Knicks are soft tanking?
Low key, Uncle Freeze, I don't believe it's a soft take on purpose. I believe it's just, it is what it is. We had admirations to do great things. I'm pretty sure, Tom Thibodeau don't want to lose and he want to take a valiant effort. But I think we all understand and we know what, a lot of us, know what this season is really going to end up, coming to is once it's time, trade deadline, like Tom Thibodeau said, he didn't even think he was going to coach most of these guys in the beginning of the season, let alone this long. So I'm pretty sure there has to be some trades in the works where, we're going to at least shake up something because, again, I can't see this roster staying like this. And we just go into the off season and free agency and the draft with the same players. Like I can't see it.
Right. I don't think the Knicks are tanking. And
I don't think so.
I think what it is I think this team is a playoff caliber team if everybody's healthy, sneaking in. You know what I'm saying? But.
But if we keep playing like this, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be okay with that 7th, 8th, 9th pick again, and whatever Dallas give us. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be too mad. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to go to the playoffs too, or at least try to go to the playoffs because, like a lot of us said, no free agent. I mean, I know we like you just said, Uncle Freeze. No free agent is gonna take us to the dance. Nobody's gonna save us. Nobody's gonna come and ask us to go to the dance.
Ain't nobody coming to save us, dog. Ain't nobody coming.
So with that being said, we're gonna have to do our own work. We're gonna have to put our own work in, man. So that means we got to get better. But again, if somebody is to look at us like they will want to take us to the dance, we got to make sure we got our makeup and our mascara on, and you know what I'm saying. We ready to go. You know what I'm saying. Outside of that, we're gonna be sad, Uncle Freeze. We're gonna be sad, or we're gonna have a lot of these morning Knicks morning drive moments.
And I'm bringing the energy too. I don't care. Hey, Prince, we bring the energy.
We'll bring it.
We'd
rather be coming in here with some W's, but if we come in here with some L's, it's the same.
Yeah, because we say we ride or die, right? Like Knicks fans say they ride or die, but sometimes there's a lot of riding and sometimes there's a lot of dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So don't say you ride or die. Don't say you ride or die if you ain't when you gonna do some riding and some dying. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is with fandom. Some days you just gonna have to take it on the chin. Some days you just gonna have to take it. You know what I'm saying?
I had to tell my daughter that the other night. She like, man, we lost again, Dad. I said, baby, that's the life of being a Knicks fan. Like, I know y'all was riding away. We got a couple W's, so y'all was cheering in the living room. But this is the life of a Knicks fan, love.
Yeah, and so the funny thing, the weird thing is this, and this is so odd, and I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I have a lot of family in Detroit. Right. And I have a lot of family in Chicago, like family and friends in Chicago. Right. More friends than family in Chicago. Right. So I got a lot of family in DC. Got a lot of family in Charlotte, North Carolina. Got a lot of family in Atlanta, Georgia. Right. And so my thing is when our teams play each other, it's very unfriendly, unfamily-like for that game day. You know what I'm saying? It's very unfriendly, unfamily-like, right? So I told them, I was like, y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all the Detroit Pistons. Y'all trash. You know what I'm saying? To my family in Detroit, right? They're like, we're going to be better than the Knicks. The Knicks, the worst organization in professional sports, right? I'm like, oh, God dog it. You know what I'm saying? So my friends and family in Chicago, they like, we better than y'all. And I'm like, how? Y'all took a dude named Patrick Williams at 4. How? You know what I'm saying? How y'all better? How was that dude better than Obi? Y'all should have took Obi. You know what I'm saying? So they like, Patrick Williams is going to be our Kawhi Leonard. And then I was like, golly. The Wizards, all these teams around us around us appear to have gotten better on paper, except the Knicks. Where the Washington Wizards went out and made a trade for Russell Westbrook, we re-signed Elfrid Payton.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? While the Detroit Pistons signed Jeremy Grant, we signed Austin Rivers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the writing is on the while and bear with me. While we signed Nerlens Noel and was excited, the Charlotte Hornets signed Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, man. And so we can't say, well, the roster is bad. Like we inherited this roster. We didn't.
We could have been better.
Yeah, this is the roster we wanted. Think about that. We could have had Jeremy Grant. We could have had Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things going on, man, when you look at it. But in the grand scheme of things, man, the roster we have right now, I don't foresee us doing anything. I don't see us doing a trade, and I don't see us bringing in anybody else. Because if we were going to do a trade, we'd have got better pieces, so we'd have better stuff to offer in a trade.
You know what, Freeze? That's crazy that you say that because, part of me, everybody was like, oh, we got the guy in the front office who I forget what his name is, but he's a great capologist and he's going to do all these things. He can flip this guy and flip that guy. And like you said, if you really think about it, it's only like we only got like two or three guys that may be able to flip at the deadline. You know what I'm saying? So again, Freeze, like you said, who are these guys? Who are these trade chips? The only trade chip we have is Julius Randle. Like, I mean, let's just be honest. Unless you're gonna clear the covers and you talking about making RJ expendable. Like, I mean, we don't have nobody's gonna call us for Reggie Bullock. Nobody's calling us for Dennis Smith Jr. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's calling for none of those guys.
Right. And if somebody does call, we need to make sure we get that player to the airport as soon as possible. We ain't waiting on Uber.
Immediately.
We ain't waiting on Uber. Nah, dog. This is not an Uber run right here. This is right here. Very important. I might have to take you myself.
Facts. Allen Houston, what you doing? Hey man, go get Dennis Smith Jr. Pack his bags. Let's take him where he needs to go.
And put him in bubble wrap first. Make sure he don't get hurt. Because if he get hurt, that means the deal don't go through. Put him in bubble wrap first and tuck him in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And make sure this thing goes through. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
freeze.
Yeah, man. Make sure he don't pull up. So if you had to make a move, if you have to put the GM cap on, well, what's the move that you make?
Man, as much as I hate to say it, you know me, I'm a Knoxer. So again, I don't think Knox will be a big enough trade piece. So again, I'm gonna just leave him out of trade talks right now. But again, and I know you a Bear tier, I think our best value is between RJ Barrett and potentially, trade Julius Randle. But I don't think they're going to trade Julius unless you get a overhaul for him. So I guess if the question is pondered and I'm looking at the NBA, the trade that I would do, and I've been proposing this, that would be packaging RJ and maybe like either a couple second rounds or RJ in 1 second round. In like a Dennis Smith Jr. or something, and see if your cousins in Chicago will make that trade for Zach LaVine since he only got 2 years left on his contract. That to me, and you compare LaVine and Julius together, and that's a pretty good nucleus going forward. Where you got Julius 26, Zach is 25. And then you got the rest of the kids. You got Knox 20, Mitch 21, And then, like I said, we got all those draft picks. So now you set yourself up in a better situation. Obi can grow. You can let Obi sit on the bench and grow. We really don't need his production to, be great in the beginning. So then it's, what I'm saying, then you put the ball in Levine and Julius' hand, and then you just have to find another guy who can come and score, like a Knox to step up, or you can keep Alex Burke and let him, get that third tier scorer minutes and scorer shots. So again, I think Zach LaVine, he's 25, he's a guard. He's hungry, and I don't even think Zach LaVine is nowhere near his prime yet. I believe he can still become a better shooter. I think he can still become a better teammate. And I know a lot of people propose Bradley Beal. I like Beal, but Beal's a little bit older and kind of a one-dimensional player because, again, yeah, he's a scorer. He's a great shooter, but I don't know how much Bradley Beal makes everybody better. So that's the thing that I worry about.
Right. So I'm still here. I feel I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah, no, I got you. I know.
So I have some great news for the channel. Something that Legion of Knicks podcast and I were working on is a done deal. Hey Legion, in a few minutes I'm gonna call you because I need to get some real quick information so that we can be straight. Because I got some good news for you. It's in the bag. It's in the bag and it's for this week, right? So I need to get some info from you real quick so we can start promoing, and then that way we can have things set up for the date. So I'm gonna hit you up probably in like 10 to 15 minutes, right? So I like Zach LaVine. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Zach LaVine. I like the prospect of acquiring Zach LaVine, right? What I don't like though is the RJ leaving part.
I know.
That's the part that I don't like.
It's just is we don't like. I don't think unless you're going now again. How can you sleep at night if you say? Would you give up those like 2 or 3 second rounds? But I don't think they're gonna let him go for just a couple seconds. You're gonna have to give up a first. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about if we do keep RJ and you say you let RJ learn behind Zach? Because I don't mind that either. Because I don't really want to give up on RJ, but I just know what it's going to take to get Zach LaVine. They're not going to give him up for free. So I'm wondering.
Let me do this real quick. Let me go use the restroom. Right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna just go in there, just turn around and come right back. Right, but what I want to know from you is this: if you get a Zach LaVine, do you trust Zach LaVine and Julius Randle with Kevin Knox's progression and development? I'm a dip, but I'm coming right back.
I wish I could see the chat, but I'm gonna speak. Me personally, I believe definitely. I trust in Julius Randle and Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine can score a little bit easier, getting his own shots, and he doesn't really need a point guard or nothing of that nature. So again, I think Zach would be a perfect fit with Julius. Somebody again who does. Man, a double team. So again, you got a lot more better options for the guys who aren't that great at creating their own shots, like Knox, like Quickly, and those guys. Because again, you got 2 players on the court who demand double teams. Zach LaVine is going to demand a double team. Julius, as we see, has been commanding double and triple teams. So again, adding somebody like a Zach LaVine, do I trust him himself as being like the alpha male leader? No, that's what we got Tom Thibodeau for. But do I trust him on the court as being a prolific scorer, a prolific athlete, and somebody with a little bit more grit? Because again, I think that's what our identity is missing too. We're missing that Russell Westbrook player, and not his his play per se, but his attitude and what he exudes. I think we do need somebody with some grit and some fight. And I think Zach LaVine, with the way he plays in transition, the way he the way he started to become a better shooter and scorer, like I said, I would give him the keys very fast. With 7 years, I could see Zach LaVine playing for another 7 to 10 years. So that means, what I'm saying, easily he's 24, 25 right now. So again, that means, like I said, he would play his best basketball in New York. Now, again, I know it would hurt us losing RJ or whoever these draft picks could be. But again, now we got to wait on RJ another 2-3 years, or whoever this draft pick another 3 to 5 years. And then Zach LaVine is already in his prime. So I like I said, I would. It's worth taking the risk on the Zach LaVine, because again, I think his play over the next 5 to 7 to 10 years would be worth more than any draft pick. And I hate to say it, even more what RJ would do for us.
Right. I feel you. I feel you on that. Let me see.
I know the chat been probably killing me since we've been on, but I just had to be real,
Zach, RJ, Obi. Interesting. Rockets would demand top pick this season. Is Harden worth that?
No.
Yes. James Harden is a Hall of Famer in his prime.
If that's all it takes is R5 or R8, I mean, yeah. I mean, like you said, who would say no to James Harden? Like, you can't. You're like, you'll be a fool to be like, no, I don't want James Harden on my team. Like, you crazy.
Crazy. James Harden solves all your issues. He solves your outside scoring issues, your playmaking issues. All of that is solved with one person. This team is ready made for James Harden, right? Because when James Harden gets tired, you don't have to go get another point guard. You can let Julius be his point forward self as the second option.
True.
Think about that. Think about that. Julius Randle falls into his more natural role of a secondary ball handler, point forward, secondary scorer, where you won't see Julius Randle be exhausted all the time. Right? So let me see what David Barkley. So Harden is 31. It doesn't fit our timeline for the youngsters. I'm here to tell you that James Harden is 31, and the youngsters are too young to fit Harden's timeline of winning right now. Right? Because these youngsters you're talking about, Dennis Smith Jr., Frank Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly. I wouldn't trade all of them. I wouldn't take all of them, including RJ Barrett, for James Harden straight up. I wouldn't say it would take more than RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, DSJ for James Harden. If I'm Houston, I'm like, no, that's not enough. I need two proven young stars for Harden, not one. Right? Hey, what are you talking about laying off the Knicks at night to get? Are you talking about something? Oh, you're talking about something for something else? Okay. Yeah, man. Hey, Legion of Knicks podcast. You need to get some sleep, brother. You burning the candle at both ends, man. What's happening? Legion of Knicks podcast is like everywhere, all the time, omnipresent. You know what I'm saying? The Legion of Knicks podcast is everywhere, like working itself to death. Anthony Alvarado says, but you don't want Harden? I don't know, man. RJ needs a floor general that has his best interest. Put him in spots where he can utilize his strengths, his mid-range solid, and keep attacking him. RJ needs to watch Jimmy Butler and Wade or DeRozan. Kevin Middleton, you trying to get me to a spot. I don't know if you're trolling me or trying to get me to a spot where I open up about RJ Barrett. You know I'm a Barrettier. I'm a Barrettier, and I think you're trolling me. I think you legit want me to open up about RJ and him being the future of the NBA. Is that what you want? You want me to open up about RJ being the future of the NBA? That's what you want. I mean, I can. I just don't want to dominate the show with RJ talk. You know, Frankers don't care. Frankers will Frank. Knoxers would be like, but Knox, it's not fair. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? With me, with RJ, he missed a bunch of shots. I'm like, RJ Barrett, you missed a bunch of shots, man. Come on. Uncle Freezy, you guys are legends for giving us real Knicks news and opinionated conversation that is real and gets his people need to turn in to see a show by these different Knicks podcasts. Right. The thing with us is this. All of our joints are different. Like think of it as layered. Like when you watch Ryan Cleveland's show, the Ryan Cleveland show is man mostly like ex-players talking themselves through the game. Right? When you watch Legion of Knicks podcast, it's a high-level coaching show that breaks down a lot of different things from a lot of different aspects, not just on the floor, but front office also. Right? When you watch the Knicks at Night podcast or the Knicks Morning Drive, it's the fans, bro. It's like the fans breaking into like you know how they have the press conference, like the news reporters or interview the players, like LeBron, what did you think about such and such? And think about if all the fans bum rushed the room and took the microphone. That's the Knicks Morning Drive in a nutshell. When the fans have the microphone, what happens? When the fans have the microphone, what happens? That's Knicks Morning Drive. That's the Knicks at Night podcast. Right? That's who we are. Right? And shout out to other Knicks content creators. I often mention Ryan Cleveland and the Legion of Knicks podcast because they do excellent work. But it's a lot of other Knicks content creators out there. Shout out to I keep wanting to shout out Jonathan Macri from Knicks Film School. The dude does excellent work. I don't always agree, so I'm not a Macri homer. I like Macri a lot, but I'm not a Macri homer. Just like y'all like me, but y'all are not Uncle Freezy homers. Like when y'all feel like I'm wrong, y'all tell me, and I respect that. Right? When y'all feel like I'm wrong, when y'all feel like I'm off base, y'all tell me, and not through secret back channels and all kind of stuff. Y'all tell me straight up in the chat. I look at the chat be like, Uncle Freezy, you crazy. And I appreciate that and respect that. Honestly, I think I like it. I think I like that more so than reading it 3 days later on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like the live feedback, like right away. Because it puts me in a situation where while I'm distinct in my thoughts, like I don't want to think like everybody else. Sometimes I'm forced to because the point leads us in a way, and y'all are like that too. So don't judge me. Don't judge Uncle Freezy like that because y'all are the same way. Y'all like to have your own distinct thoughts on Knicks stuff, but sometimes the series of events force us to think the same way about a certain topic unless something else bumps us off that path. I'll put it that way. Right. So shout out to Jonathan Macri and Knicks Film School. And what I would advise is this. When it comes to Macri, give it a shot. And not just like I read one article and he made me mad. Nah, not like that. Give it a shot like let me read this thing and see what this guy's talking about and get to know this kid, Jonathan Macri, and see and try to understand where he's coming from. Macri is my guy. Macri is my guy. I mean, and listen, it's organic. You know, when he came on the show, I was like, yo, I want you to be on my joint. I've been always wanting you to be on my joint. You've always been good to me, you know what I'm saying, over the years, whatever. I want you to be on the joint and experience the love from the Lawrence Tears family. And y'all got on here, and when he got on, y'all showed him mad love, and he respected that. He respected the fact that y'all came at him with some real. And Andy N, Black Andy, had a comment about his haircut, which kind of threw him off guard a little bit, but made him feel at home at the same time, because you only pick on people that you like. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, shout out to Macri and the Knicks Film School. I don't know the other guy. The other guy, I mean, I don't know. I don't have like I don't have interactions with him. So, I mean, until he shows me something or comes to me with something, man, he'll remain that other guy. but shout out to J Mac and shout out to the other Knicks content creators, because it's tough doing this here. Like being on the microphone for long stretches of time is not an easy thing to do, especially live stream stuff. And shout out to Sports Vibes TV also, and Clutch B-Ball TV, and the Die Hard Knicks podcast, and Nothing But Knicks. So shout out to Nothing But Knicks. Nothing But Knicks is back, baby. Nothing But Knicks is back, like the McRib. It's back. So yeah, so shout out to Sim. And when I say this, I mean it. So shout out to Sim. That's my friend, right? So Sim is my friend, right? So shout out to Sim. You know, and much success to that brother. I hope all he has in front of him is success and roses. You lying. Legion of the Knicks pocket is a liar. Come on, dog. So shout out to Casey CP from Knicks Fan TV. Shout out to him. Super dope guy. Make sure y'all check out his stuff when you're not watching my stuff. When you're not watching my stuff, you can watch whatever Knicks content creator you want. Support them all. Yo. So Legion of the Knicks podcast, I just want to say something, man. I'm checking the phone. Waiting for an exact time Friday. So it's looking like Friday morning. Man. Yo. So here's the thing. Should we fade for Cade? What do y'all think? Should we fade for Cade? Ernesto says McRib is fake pork meat. I mean, I don't care. I don't care. It don't make me a difference. So Decius Thomas says RJ should look for Knox when they are on the court. Will allow the chemistry to grow, and Knox will hopefully gain the mentality while RJ gain the reps of shooting, because they both need reps. Yep. We want Harden. How about we want Frank? Pause. How about we want Ntilikina? William Luca Jr. Should we fade for Cade? No. Daniel L. Glero says no. Spree the Knicks. No, hell no. I am Jarrell. No way. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Um. So that move there. Um. Listen. Okay. So I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That's not my show. I don't make any calls. I respect everybody over there, and I think they are driving fast in their lane. They know their purpose. They know their purpose, and so they're driving fast towards their goals and purposes. Right. The thing is, I really love Jay Ellis, and when you have three people on in the same amount of time, that means somebody's time is going to be diminished. It is what it is. Say for instance, you have an hour and a half between two people to talk. Now you have an hour and a half between three people to talk. You know, I really like CP. I like the chemistry between CP and Jay Ellis. I respect what they have going on. You know, I mean, is it a dynamic duo like Uncle Freezy and Stephen Fox? I'm not ready to go there because I feel like Foxy is the best co-pilot in the game, right? And I would hope that he would have the same appreciation and love for what I bring to the table and chemistry, right? But I really like what CP and Jay Ellis have going on. They're trying something new, and I hope it's successful. So, nothing against the new person, by the way. So David Barkley said you played to win the game, Coach Herm Edwards' voice, in terms of fading for Cade. Yeah, you play to win the game. I'm all about building the winning culture. I want to win every game. Paris Duggar is in the building. We are trying to get too many one-dimensional players. Our future. I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure what we. Hey, so Legion says she's an eye catcher, and salute to her. Now I think she's smart too. By the way, I think she's smart. Hey, Chris, that's right. Freezy and Fox are the dynamic duo. Somebody coming to Gotham? Yo, we don't play that. We don't play that. Batman and Robin don't play that. You better be one of the good guys. Either you a good guy and you with us. If you neutral or evil, you against us. We are not in a hardened state of mind right now. We need to grow the youngest until we see what we have and what they can be in the league. I don't know. Jalen Suggs is nasty. I am Jarrell. He is nasty. So, man, the McRib, no, man. I'm not talking about sustenance. So that's what I'm saying about topics. Like topics are multi-layered. Like when I said the McRib is back, I actually was pointing to is back as the part that we should focus on, not the McRib. But like a lot of our conversations is multi-layered. Like the McRib, look, I'm not trying to eat no McRib. You know what I'm saying? But the hype around the McRib is crazy. Does anyone remember home of the Knicks website? Whatever happened to them? I don't know. Harden and Kawhi duo. That's a whole lot of crazy for one team. Can one team sustain all that crazy? You know what? I'll give you an example. So there's a clan out there, the NBK fam clan, right? And the NBK fam clan has a whole lot of crazy, right? There is some Uncle Freezy. There is some Legion of Knicks podcast. There is some diehard Knicks podcast. So when we form the Justice League, when we all come together, it's a whole lot of crazy, right? And so you have the cat Sam Russell like trying to keep it in the road. And listen, man, I ain't trying to have nobody control me. Period. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody. I'm gonna live Uncle Freezy's best life, right? I'm in the MBK fam because I like that. I like the fun of it, right? When things start being constrained, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I listen, man. That ain't me. When you hear, man, look. When you hear the term free spirit, that's me by nature. I can't help it. I wish I was disciplined. I wish I was disciplined like that. But anyway, back to our Knicks, right? To our Knicks. Oh God, man, I'm trying to get back to the Knicks. Okay, so when will at Lawrence Tears finally fight Kevin Wright? Never. In the debate stage, first of all, in the debate stage, we have about 5 dudes that are rare talent. When it comes to debate. It's Sports Vibes TV is a rare talent. It's almost unfair. I didn't know this until he started, you know what I'm saying, until we brought him around or until he came around, until he joined the Lawrence Tears family, man, came around. I didn't know he was sharp. I thought he was reserved, is what I thought he was. I was like, he's reserved. He won't get in here and get dirty and tussle. Wrong. You say one wrong thing to Sports Vibes TV, and you might be lucky enough to go home with your shirt on your back. Right? And then there's Free Keith. The energy is crazy. And then the Free Keith, the energy is crazy. And then you have Chuck B, Uncle Freezy, the Legion of Knicks podcast. I ain't got to say nothing about them. What's up, Prince?
Man, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I had lost connection. I'm back, though.
Now you like the McRib. He back, ladies and gentlemen, like the McRib.
So what all you got to? I know I missed the Levine talk. I know everybody probably was like, man, don't ever bring Prince back on again.
Nah, man, this is your joint. The Knicks morning drive. Look, you and GI, Ghetto Intellect. This is y'all's joint, right? People need to respect that.
I appreciate that, bro, because it feel good, bro. You know what I'm saying? To be we're the brethren. You know what I'm saying? They want you around, bro. You know what I'm saying? That feels dope.
Yeah, this is y'all's joint. This is y'all's joint. You know what I'm saying? One day when we get an intro, we'll probably put it on the thing. You know what I'm saying? Knicks morning drive with Ghetto Intellect and the Prince Bun. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully Uncle Freezy won't jump on like a weirdo and talk y'all to death. Yeah, man. This is y'all's joint. So we trying to grow it because this is like I legit say it all the time, and people think I'm BSing them when I say this is a Knicks fans channel. You know what I'm saying? Like so you know the Knicks at Night podcast is my baby, right? It's my baby. Foxy and a few others were like, yo, how about us come on and do some. And I'm like, that's my baby, man. But But then I'm like, you know what? I can't out one side of my mouth say this is the Knicks fans channel, and then not have the Knicks fans run it. You know what I'm saying?
True. But you don't want to mess up the formula too much, even though you know what I'm saying. Knicks talk is Knicks talk, but like you said, this Uncle Freezy formula is only, you know what I'm saying. It only can be, you know what I'm saying. It only can work over here with Uncle Freeze. You know what I'm saying. You can't steal this and go copy it and do it somewhere else. This can't be
go
redone.
clone it. Yeah.
No, you can't do that. You can't clone it, bro.
And so the thing is I want to share this with everybody. Like this is like when I see, like, for instance, Illmatic, when are you gonna get a camera so you can be on the show? Illmatic, I'm calling you out. Illmatic, when are you gonna get your camera straight? When are you gonna come on the joint? Like you be in the chat, you be in the virtual chat. Why are you not in the video chat? Ernesto, Ernie D, don't play with me, Ernie D. I know you already been in video chats. I've been in video chats with you. Why are you not in the video chat here? Stop trying to play me. Stop trying to play me, man. Come through. Come through. And Ernie D, unlike everybody else, Ernie D like to talk. Ernie D, don't try to play me. Because you were talking fool. I remember having to cut you off myself. I remember being on the joint that had to talk over Ernie D in order to get a word in. You know what I'm saying? And now Ernie D got a platform where he can come talk, and he won't come talk.
Pull up. What'd you say? Pull up for them. All you need is a cup of tea. Pull up with or your coffee, whatever you got. Whatever you got.
Right. Illmatic is like soon, bro. Right. I heard that before. I just didn't choose to hold my breath. I didn't want to hold my breath the last time I heard it. And guess what? I'm still alive. I ain't gonna hold my breath this time either. So yeah, hey, Ernie D talking about I'll be there, Freezy. Right. Hey, Ernie D, I ain't gonna hold my breath. You know why? Because I like living. Ernie D. Hey, what's good? Zay the Truth, what's good? Hey, so Simma Singh. So Stephen Fox wants Simma Singh on so bad he can't stand it. Every time I talk to Stephen Fox on the telephone, he's like, yo, man, I've been talking to Simma Singh about, and I'm like, dude, it is what it is. Some people are gonna be, in the camera. Some people are gonna be at the gates. Simma Singh is like one of those cats that I guess prefers to be at the gates, making sure chumps like me stay safe. Simma Singh is like the bouncer. So chumps like me can get on the stage and do my thing. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate Simma Singh for that. I'll forever appreciate Simma Singh for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things, man. I mean, Primo, what's good? Primo, when you gonna jump on?
Is it harder for Ashley?
they bugging. They talking about Ash. Hey, Zay the Truth, what's good? When you gonna come on? Yo, where's Chop? There's a bunch of people. Hey, so Prince, I'm gonna wrap up in a little bit because I got to do a call real quick with Legion of the Knicks podcast. I just wanted to shout out some people in the chat. After a loss, I'd rather just chop it up with man, Supreme System Lord been in the chat today. Why he don't? Okay, all right, whatever. So after a loss, I choose not to be negative about the loss. I just want to focus on why Gordon Hayward had 28 points at the half, and why a coach of Tom Thibodeau's resume couldn't beat a high school 2-3 zone, and Kevin Knox scoring 17 points.
We got to get better with that. We, like you said, that 2-3 zone stuff. Like, and I hear Tom like, oh yeah, man, we ain't had a chance to get in our gym and we ain't had a chance to practice. Man, you can pull up some YouTube videos and show somebody how to, how to beat the 2-3 zone. Like pass the damn ball, Elf. Swing it. Swing. Attack. Swing.
Right. So Primo says, I'll be on one day. Y'all ain't ready. Well, hey man, just be dope. Whenever you show up, whenever you show up, whenever you're ready, just be dope. That's all I'm saying.
What my boy Free said yesterday, don't show up with some Jordans trying to dig a ditch.
Yeah.
You better have them combat boots on, have them Tims.
Yeah.
Make sure you have them wheat Tims on when you come in here with that noise, Yeah. And quiet is kept. After you break in those wheat Tims, they might be the most comfortable pair of shoes you got. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They just might be the most comfortable pair of shoes you got after you break them in. Hey, I mean, and I'm speaking as a Tim wearer. Those of y'all that don't wear Tims after you break them in, after you got them broke in real good, you know what I'm saying? They might just be the most comfortable pair of shoes you got.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying. So yeah, man. So shout out to the other guys. They doing their thing, man. So just wanted to shout out all the Knicks content creators, because like I've been saying for months now, YouTube has billions of users, and the Knicks fan base has tens of millions of fans.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
So ain't no need to squabble over 200 or 300 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? That's petty. That's petty when you could just get out there and rock and be creative. Just be creative. If you want your joint to go, just be creative and be real, and people will follow you. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
People will rock your joint. So anyway, I'm a sign off right here, man. I'm gonna get off here. I got a couple of calls to make. I got to get up with my man Legion of the Knicks podcast, get some stuff squared away.
Hey, salute y'all, man. I know y'all got some fire coming for us, man. You and Guillermo put that stuff together. Salute Guillermo. Salute the fam, MBK. You know what I'm saying? Knicks at Night, the Blue Orange Tier morning show, bro. We on some wave. We on a different wave. We on a whole different wave, man. So yeah.
Hey, it's the KMD with the Prince bun. The KMD.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I appreciate being here for that.
Yeah, and Ghetto, and shout out to Ghetto Intellect, shout out to Free Keith, and the guys that come through for the Knicks morning drive. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all coming through the support and taking ownership of it and helping it grow. Because listen, this ugly mug right here ain't gonna grow nothing by itself. You know what I'm saying? I need help. You know what I'm saying? I need help. And y'all got my back. And I got y'all. And so when it comes to this KMD, how y'all gonna grow it, man? As long as we respectful, you know what I'm saying, and be respectful of each other, then I'm certain that this joint is gonna grow like wildfire. But anyway, I'm a sign off from here, and I'll holler at y'all at 11:45 tonight.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. Peace.